Long ago, when the world was bright and full of stories, an evil wizard gained the power to touch the face of God. Narrativa, goddess of stories and weaver of our world, banished him to the void, but not before he stole a piece of her divine essence. With this newfound power, the wizard lay a dread curse upon all the world, the Glyph Purge, which struck from the minds of all mortals the knowledge of how to read and write. Now, all that stand between the Isle of Meosha and an age of endless ignorance are the bards, who tell stories of distant lands, exotic creatures, and brave heroes. This is one such tale.
Hello and welcome to Challenge Rating Zero, the latest and greatest Dungeons & Dragons podcast to hit the internet airwaves. I am Sam, your Dungeon Master, and I am joined as always by my longtime friends and adventuring companions.
Hello, I'm Brian, and I play Hector the Gatekeeper.
Hi, I'm Beth, and I play Rilla Longshadow.
Hey there, I'm Alex, and I play Ruger Firehide.
And last but not least, we have the man who calls himself Michael, but who we call Parker. Michael Parker playing the Druid Zurabak. Say hi, Parker.
Hi, Parker.
Fan-fucking-tastic. That is how you do an intro, and I did it right the first time, and that's...
Yeah, that's totally canon.
It was perfect.
Of course you did.
Yeah.
I absolutely got it in one shot like I always do, because I never make mistakes, because I'm perfect.
That'd be a rookie mistake, right?
Right, yeah.
Absolutely. We've been making this show at this point for over 4 years now, and I would never do something as dumb as fuck up the intro to the show I've done at least 80 times.
Is this the...
Matt, I would like to humbly request that you keep the false start in on this particular episode.
Yes.
Well... While Matt, our Lord and Savior, the incredibly talented Audius Prime, audiusprime.com, does take the first pass on all these episodes, I also get my, my hands in there and shake some stuff around to make me look better. So we'll see what's kept in and what's not. I got a rep to protect here. You know what I'm saying? But
what's your
enough
rep?
of this.
Wait, what's your rep though?
An incredibly proficient and charismatic dungeon master.
Okay.
No, Sam, what do you rep? How much?
Let's not embarrass me and let's not I'm the dungeon master. I have as much strength as the narrative requires. We don't need to get into like actual stats or my complete lack of upper body strength. Why don't we play Dungeons and Dragons? How about that?
I thought we were playing gargoyles.
We are. Yes, our once every 10 episode gargoyle joke. We're gonna...
My gargoyle's OC is named Queens.
5th Street?
My gargoyle's OC is named Subway, and he is just so cool.
Would I have to play one named Broadway just because there's because I'm like playing a girl?
Broadway exists, Beth.
Yeah,
what the fuck?
Dude, I have not. I remember none of Gargoyles, including the one episode I watched after we started talking about making this podcast, okay?
I'm sorry, Beth. I blacked out after you said you don't know anything about gargoyles. Can you say that? My nose is bleeding. I don't understand what those words mean.
Beth, Broadway is the fat one. Yes.
We're still not making our show.
Hasn't happened
We're
yet.
still not making our show. Here's what I'm going to do is I'm going to say, when last we left our heroes, Hector, Rilla Zurabak, and the lawman Ruger Firehide were in the Bloodstone Keep, the hold of the Iron Shogun, whose name is, I wrote it down, shut up.
Matt, leave this in too.
Dolbear Iron Eye, ruler of Grotmire in the Depths. Our heroes had accepted an invitation to a state dinner, a lavish function hosted by the ruler of the dwarves in his home at the lowest level of Grotmire, where the dwarves live, underneath the mountains of Everspring. Our heroes wined and dined, they ballroom danced, they made speeches, and they learned some very interesting details about the Iron Shogun. It would seem that the last thing they need to fix the Cypher Golem that Ruger found so very long ago is a very rare part called the Platinum Gyro. The various technicians and adventurers that our heroes know and have made contact with know of only one place where such a rare component can be found, and that is within the robotic heart of the Iron Shogun, the leader of the dwarves, whose body is an old iron golem, and the only thing keeping him alive. To remove this Platinum Gyro from the Iron Shogun's chest would mean his death, and so our heroes tried to talk the Iron Shogun into dying, essentially, after they had enjoyed their meal. The Iron Shogun seemed surprisingly game, and after chatting for a bit, our heroes turned from a plot of justified assassination and regicide to a suicide mission. Hector's bright idea is to take the party, as well as the Iron Shogun, out into the Badlands to the heart of darkness, the ruined human city of Fel, where the Lord Deceiver keeps their evil armies, and try to find an old golem manufacturing plant to see if one of these items can be found. The Iron Shogun is aware of secret passages, honeycombing the underside of the Isle of Miosha that might lead there in secret, and it falls to our heroes to prepare for this treacherous journey. So, Hector and Rilla and Ruger Firehide, you are in the private lounge of the Iron Shogun, having just put together the barest outline of this plan. Zurabak has just given an amazing speech, cowing and embarrassing the bickering nobles of the dwarven people and demanding that they act in accordance with their station, and I believe left. Zurabak, did you peace out after that rousing speech you gave?
I don't remember.
Okay, well, are you staying for free food, or are you taking off?
I mean, there's food to be consumed. So
There is food to be consumed.
I'm sure there's going to be some sort of dessert round as well.
Dessert's coming out right now, and it is a giant carving made of shaved ice that depicts a forge hammer striking an anvil. It is beautifully colored with various flavored syrups, and it is delicious, and you get far more than even your great maw is able to contain in one sitting. The other nobles flee in fear of your furious consumption of this beautiful dessert.
As well they should. They don't want to lose a hand.
Why don't you roll me a fortitude saving throw for brain freeze?
I did not have snow cones on my bingo card for tonight's session.
Roll a dice. D20. I rolled 12 plus 11. Is it poison?
It is not poison.
Is it fey?
It is not fair.
Then like 23.
You, Zurabak, are able to withstand the onslaught of this incredibly cold dessert, and you do not get a brain freeze. But your mouth is chilly.
He doesn't have a brain
No.
to freeze.
Yeah, I ain't going to argue with that one.
Damn it. I was hoping for some PvP tonight.
No.
Don't worry, you still might get it.
It's true, it's early.
The night's still young.
Everyone knows that Sam's favorite thing is players fighting each other at the table. God, I love that so much. It's my favorite thing. All right, so Rilla, Ruger, and Hector, you are in the lounge, the private lounge of the Iron Shogun, just off the Great Feast Hall, where you enjoyed your meal. There are soft cushions laid around a sunken conversation pit in this finely wrought room made of blood red stone carved in a beautiful melange of swirling shapes. And you have just made the case to the Iron Shogun to try to go on the suicide mission. He even sitting down, looms above you, curled over his knees and staring down at you from his wrinkled and liver-spotted head, and says,
Well, you all have given me much to think about. I will have to gather information from my deep wardens as to the best path to follow to get to Fell in secret. I will need an honor guard in order to sell this little journey to my senior advisors. You all, of course, and a small retinue of the soldiers you currently command should do the trick. Perhaps we shall take a day or two to gather information and then meet up here to finalize our preparations. Is there anything else you all need of me at the moment?
I look at my companions, because I don't.
Yeah, I don't think I do either.
I think we have as much figured out as we can for now. Shall we set a specific time to reconvene?
Meet me at dusk 2 days hence, here at the gates to the Bloodstone Keep. By then, I shall have an idea of what paths we might take and what threats we may face on that path. Gather your forces, and whatever information you may obtain. The way shall not be easy.
Then we will see you 2 days hence. Thank you for not making me kill you.
Oh, my dear boy, I haven't made you kill me yet.
and he chuckles a bit and then waves one of his enormous iron hands, and where once was a seemingly flat wall, a door appears, cunningly cut in the dwarven tradition, and a swarm of servants comes out and leads you out of this lounge through the feast hall and out to the ballroom, where a surprisingly lively group of nobles are speaking amongst themselves with renewed vigor and a sense of purpose. Fawn upon you as usual for your status. You see Zurabak just face first in a giant snow cone ice sculpture. What do you all do?
I turn to my companions and say, all right, I will be honest. I am hardly sold on Hector's idea here, but it sounds like we're going ahead with it. So, with that in mind, I know there's a lot to be done, a lot of planning and ciphering and what have you, but if y'all want my opinion, first order of business should be enjoying tonight. There's food and dessert and dancing. Might not have too many days of those left, so just my 2 coppers.
As you finish your short speech, Ruger, the band once again starts up a lively waltz, and the formerly scatterplot assemblage of dwarven nobles and merchants start to take their places in an elaborate dance, swirling around you all. What would you all like to do? There's dancing, there's drinking, there's food. Do you all want to party with the dwarves for an evening?
I'm going to hunt down a shrimp plate, and then I am going to hunt down Esmerelle Iron Eye, and ask her to dance.
Ooh, gracious. You find not shrimp, but delicious roasted cave cricket, which is almost the same thing.
Delectable.
They got surprisingly meaty insides and a delicious crunch that just doesn't quit. You in this assemblage of twirling and tittering nobles of the dwarven kingdom do find Esmerelle. She is politely dancing with some wealthy dwarven noble. Every finger on their hands has a ring with a large precious gem, and as the dancers all change partners, you slip your way in there. Why don't you roll me a perform check real quick to see how well you dance?
Is that what we did last time? I felt like I was better at it last time with the dancing.
You were pretty good last time. I think you rolled high.
Well, I rolled decent this time, so that is a 14.
That is perfectly adequate, more than enough not to trip over your own feet, and you glide into this sort of, structured fancy pants dance. You're like holding palms together and turning around each other as you weave in and out of the other nobles. And Esmeralda is surprised to see you, but deftly handles the steps.
I just chat with her, nothing too deep or anything, but I make some comment at one point that how often do you get to dance with a princess? And otherwise, yeah, just kind of, I don't know, show off some more moves, enjoy my evening, hit the food, hit the desserts, and
Absolutely. Yeah, she rewards your comment with a wry grin and is surprisingly graceful, considering she's wearing like full plate armor. Hector, Rilla, what are y'all doing? Anything in particular?
Real quick, just as a quick thing, Hector taps his protagonist symbol on his headband, like he's trying to get a signal.
Sure.
Diviner?
terrible Wi-Fi in here.
Hello?
Yes, Hector. What do you need?
We need to set up a meeting with everyone as soon as possible. Like tomorrow morning, maybe.
That can absolutely be done. Our friends shall all be assembled at first light.
Great. Thank you. I try and hang up my headband.
Oh, just hit the. You don't have to. It's the one in the. Oh, okay, bye. Rilla, what you got?
I know like Ruger wants us to like relax and enjoy ourselves, but that's not like Rilla's not going to enjoy herself in a underground hall full of dwarfs like socializing, you know? So I think she's mostly like calculating how long she has to stay to be polite before she can
For
leave.
sure.
And
Oh,
like,
absolutely.
probably sticking near the edges of the party and like maybe having a dessert, but like watching a clock. Are there clocks? That's like symbols. I don't know how we're telling time indoors. I'm not sure where the cutoff is.
Yeah, it is
you
a
know?
little. It is a little disorienting because you are trying to use your internal clock as you disinterestedly pick at a small crystal goblet full of shaved ice. You look on at the party and try to gauge how long you have to wait before you have to leave, and then Rilla's anxiety spikes as you realize that there is no way down here for an elf to kind of dependably keep time, and you stare down a time wormhole for a little bit, sort of
Start
freaking out,
hyperventilating
trying to
a little. Yeah.
doing some mental math.
I think around that time, Hector steps up to Rilla. So, I haven't tried dancing one-armed yet. I don't really know what I'm doing. I could use a friend. And he holds out his hand.
Rilla's still like, I think when Hector started, Rilla's like not even looking him in the eyes. She's like hyperventilating and like flickering her eyes around, and like slowly refocuses. and like thinks about it for a second and cocks her head and is like, "Oh, yeah, you can't lead anymore. Interesting." And then she like flips him to the correct like partner position, I guess, for switching that, and like takes lead.
Hell yes. Amazing. You two sweep out onto the dance floor. Hector trying to rediscover how to dance is you kind of lean on Rilla as she's still got her balance and elven grace, and Rilla leads, and you guys swing out onto the dance floor. Why don't you two roll me some perform checks real quick to see how good you dance in this beautiful, lovely scene.
Hey Sam, I just rolled a critical.
Hey Sam, I just rolled a 19 on the dice.
I got a 26.
21.
God.
Are we all rolling dance checks?
Are you dancing, Zurabek?
Yeah.
With who?
With whoever dares.
Pretty Polly.
I got a 19 altogether.
Yeah, Zurabek, you look at all the people dancing and not one to be left out, especially since you're way better than all these people. You make your way out onto the floor. The second before you are just viciously grabbed by Mrs. Fisher, you see Pretty Polly stick his head out from underneath one of the tables and say, "Better you than me, your lordship," as you are swung out onto the dance floor, feet leaving the floor by Mrs. Fisher. Dancing Fisher's favorite! And she just whirls you around.
Hit as many as you can.
I'm super disappointed because I thought that you were going to have what's his name?
Pretty Polly.
I just lost it. God, Pretty Polly. Yeah, I thought you were gonna have Pretty Polly be the dance partner, and I was so excited.
I was ready for it as well.
Yeah.
No, Mrs. Fisher is using Duke Zurabek as a bludgeon, basically. You clear out a nice little circle on the dance floor for just yourself as she whirls you around. As the music swells.
You got to make your subjects happy.
Absolutely. Yeah. Oh, she's loving it. You're a goddamn morning star, and she's just wheeling you around. As the music swells and the waltz reaches a fever pitch, Hector and Rilla, you two swing out onto the dance floor. And Hector, it's pretty fucking awkward at first. Your balance is all off, and you only have one arm with which to grab your partner. You know, you're kind of out there. But Rilla is confident, graceful, and quickly takes command of the situation. And pretty soon, you two are cutting the finest of rugs all across this ballroom to the adoration of the dancers you pass, who all flash you all shining grins. What's going through y'all's heads right now as you're spinning across the floor, showered in the light of the crystal chandeliers here in the Bloodstone Keep?
I think Rilla's just very, very, very focused on the dance moves she is doing so that she doesn't have to think about anything else.
Absolutely.
And I think maybe debating if Hector could handle being dipped.
Hector, what's going through your head as this moment crystallizes?
Definitely at first, it's very much just focused on his feet and like trying not to mess anything up too bad. But once they get into the swing of it, Hector's just happy to kind of have his friend back, if only for now.
That's glorious. It is as that feeling creeps up inside of you that you are dramatically and stylishly dipped out of nowhere, bent backwards by your elven dancing companion, whose chainmail dress rattles gloriously as you are dipped down, staring up at Rilla's face and the blazing chandeliers behind her on the stage.
I'd cowboy whistle in the background.
What's a cowboy whistle?
Well, you know where they like
Supposed
stick
to-
their
I wasn't-
finger and do the phew. I can't do it. I can't do it. But you know, like the
Okay.
I was-
hootin' whistle.
I'm glad somebody asked because I didn't want to
Leave
bring
it
some
up to the
momentum
audience's
this. Yeah.
imagination. Come on.
I detective smile. Like it's just.
You know, a lawyer slap. You know,
Yeah,
that,
obviously.
Come on.
Alex, I got.
Thank
what
you,
meant.
Brian. It's because you are aware of cinema.
So yeah, there's this one moment of unity and peace, and then the song comes to an end, and you two, Rilla and Hector, realize that you've got a sheen of sweat from the dance you just performed, and yeah, Hector is let back up, and a round of applause echoes across the room. Less so by Zurabak and Mrs. Fisher, who have managed to knock over about 6 nobles in their spin, and far more applause around.
I lay hands on some of the nobles. Heals the sprained ankles.
Beautiful. Yeah, after a while, the band starts to pack up, and some of the nobles start heading out to beat the traffic. And it seems like the party is on its way winding down. Do you all depart?
Yeah.
Sweet. You all exit the party in grand fashion. The Iron Shogun has once again furnished you all with these stylish jet black carriages to take you back to the surface. One for the Duke of the Isle of Niho and his coterie, and one for Rilla, Ruger, and Hector. Footmen open the door and allow you in, and you are all swiftly taken back to the College of Everspring.
In the carriage, I
Yes.
take the time to inform my companions about the meeting that I got us set up for
It
tomorrow
is
morning.
at that point that I take a shot of whiskey from my flask at my hip and then offer it to my 2 companions.
I accept.
Nice.
Yeah, me too.
Fucking A.
Oh, shit. Rilla takes a pull of whiskey. I will say, simply for narrative purposes and Rilla's usual drinks, I think it'd be fun if Rilla did a fortitude save real quick.
That's fair.
That is fair.
Regret.
Feels right.
This is not a mimosa.
I
Or
got
elven wine.
a-
The mysterious elven wine.
Let's see. I got a 14.
That's great. It burns. It is absolute fucking rot gut. Ruger, is that fair to assume?
Yeah.
Or is this? Or yeah.
It might have been
Is
dwarven
absolute
fire
rot gut-
whiskey, but I don't know. I got a little hairy.
Not the fire water.
I know.
goddamn.
Yeah. Okay, fine. Rock it. It's fine.
Yeah, it burns going down, but you instantly feel a warmth rush up to redden your cheeks a bit, and everything's just a lot more chill pretty quickly. And yeah, you suffer no negative consequences. Nicely
I
done.
mean, it's probably for the best since I'm in a metal dress. I have to be pretty damn cold.
I belatedly offer Rilla my cloak, like 3 hours too late. Like, oh shit. Yeah, that.
Yeah, so you all are deposited outside of the College of Everspring. And yeah, you have the evening to yourselves. You have a meeting with the conspiracy in the morning. Do y'all want to do anything or just skip to that scene?
I'm always up for the after party, so leave me out of it.
The minute Rilla's out of the carriage, she casts spider climb and starts walking sideways on the walls because I'm a little tipsy, right? And that seems fun.
For sure, yeah.
So,
You are you are shoes in your hand walking up the
All right.
wall of one of the outbuildings.
I was imagining
of the
like
college.
walking sideways along the wall next to everyone walking normally.
So
For sure.
Personally,
while she's doing that, I'm smoking a cigarette, but I kind of lean over a little bit to Hector and I'm going to say, "You're seeing that, right? That's not just me."
Yeah, I mean, Rilla can do weird shit.
Yeah, I mean, I
Fine, it's normal.
I know. I was just a little concerned that I might have hit the spiked punch bowl a little bit too hard. So,
Frankly, I'm surprised she's still in her normal form.
Rilla, turn into something cool.
I turn into his wife.
Oh shit! Yeah,
I said
where
cool,
you're
not
looking
chilly.
I was already something cool, but if you insist on transformations, it's always gonna be Shira. Saying that Shira.
Yeah, I can barely remember her name either. It's fine. But I take another pull for my whiskey.
And then I turn into the diviner for fun, because that's even better.
Okay, now you're just salting the wound.
Oh my
Is this
god! we're
cooler?
back
Is
to-
this the coolest? Am I the coolest now, Ruger? And then I run into what do you call those? Like a rain gutter, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
Like I trip over it because I'm walking on the side of the wall.
A downspout.
And I'm mocking Kruger, so I'm not paying attention.
This is fun. I, as a DM, am enjoying the fact that we're back to prank Rilla, and that's a very fun version of Rilla. I'm glad we got back to.
Do you fall off the wall when you trip?
No, I fall like face first onto the side of the wall. Probably, yeah.
I literally laugh out loud at that. Canonically, I mean.
Sure.
Hector goes to like reach out a hand to help, but then doesn't know how like the gravity is all fucked up. He doesn't know how he would help you up to your feet, so he just kind of stands there awkwardly with a hand.
Oh man, Rilla thinks for just a second about walking on Hector for funniness, and it's like, no, that's too much.
It's too much. It's too much. Once I see Rilla's starting to overthink again, I offer her another pull of the flask of whiskey. I'm bad influence.
Yeah, I drink it, obviously.
Roll me a fortitude save.
Yeah, yep. It's gonna be bad tomorrow morning.
Well, you do your best work hungover.
Ooh, I rolled a 4, so that's a 10.
Rilla Longshadow, you are whiskey drunk. You are wearing a metal dress,
Yep.
intoxicated. Ruger and Hector, why don't you go ahead and roll me some fortitude saves as well, as I assume you guys are getting into it. Zurabak, what are you doing? Are you chilling with your friends, doing some silliness, or where are you and your coterie going?
Wherever the driver takes us.
They dump you out in front of the college with the rest of the homies.
Well, I guess I say goodnight to my herald. Because this is where he lives now, right?
Yes, it absolutely is. All right, boss. Well, I hope I did a good job for you tonight. I think I killed it. So yeah, good stuff, good times. You have a good night. I'm gonna go hit the hay.
Yep. Beware of dwarven assassins. They will come.
Oh, okay. Well, that's a lot to take in. Are you sure? Why? Wait, boss, why?
Zerobak just starts walking away at this point.
Okay, boss, I'll keep an eye out. He clutches his horn of blasting and holds it close to his chest as he goes inside. Yeah, you all enjoy a night of silliness and eventually hit the hay. After some shenanigans, each of you tell me one dumb thing you do on this bender. Ruger, what's a dumb thing you do while you guys are drinking out in the quad in front of the college?
I try and convince drunk ass Rilla to help me up to the roof by like her walking me up the wall.
I
Rilla, do you
absolutely
acquiesce?
drop you.
Oh yeah,
I drop you,
100%. 100%.
like 10 feet up, probably.
Yeah, I'm really hoping Hector's got me. Hector!
Yeah, you get...
I try.
Rilla is bent double backwards, like trying to walk, trying to like moonwalk up this wall while holding your weight, Ruger, and she absolutely drops your ass. And
Drunk,
Hector,
strength of 11. Yeah, it's just
Hector catches you with one arm, and you two go down in a heap, and you're gonna have quite the shiner on the side of your head tomorrow morning, Ruger.
Nice.
Hector, what's one dumb thing you do on this little bender?
Hector does the thing where he casts ghost sound to amplify his own voice, and then just loudly sings. What's that one song? This Ain't the End?
Yes. Yeah.
What's the official name of that song? I know it is like the Miosha drinking song. Is there an official name to that song?
Yeah, it's called This Ain't the End.
Cool. Hector sings that loudly, amplifying his voice magically.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, your song echoes over the paving stones, the small courtyards, the trees and benches of the quad out in front of the college, and it bounces back. You get one crotchety old person that's like, keep it down, but for the most part, it's a lovely, satisfying
At
tune.
that point, I changed the lyrics to "It's not the end of your story," and I point at him.
Nice.
Yeah, if you weren't giving him bardic inspiration, he'd be a lot more mad at you. I feel like my attack rolls are better. Thanks, buddy. Real Long Shadow, what's one dumb thing you do in this night's bender?
I think I try to talk the boys into crashing a party.
Oh shit.
To steal some more drinks because I don't want to pay for them. But also, I'm going to say it's like a party that Dara's at, and I just want to embarrass the shit out of her, but I don't miss
college party? We're going to crash a college party?
Yeah, like one of her first
Zerbeck was going to leave, but then he heard stealing alcohol and crashing parties.
Yeah, like it's like her first college party that she's super pumped about. I want to show up like real drunk to with my adult friends. Yeah.
The four of you crash a incredibly cool, like, hip kegger on the pier over Lake Danum. Dara is there with her cool new college friends. They all have asymmetrical haircuts dyed in a rainbow of patterns. They have scrolling tattoos and the absolute height of fashion. And they're all drinking beer from a tapped keg in shitty little pewter cups and listening to really avant-garde music being played in like a round by a bunch of the bards there. And you absolutely crash the shit out of it. You guys show up completely unannounced. Dara is immediately completely embarrassed.
There she is, my little deputy. I gave her that protagonist badge.
I go up to her cool friends in my crazy ball gown and drunkenly ramble about how cute it is to see Dara drinking out of a grown-up cup because she gets so many problems.
Oh my god!
With spilling them when she was little, and it took so long, like a solid decade longer than all the other kids her age to figure out cups, and how proud I am.
While they're making an excellent distraction, Zerbeck just starts picking up the keg and leaving.
Absolutely. Hector challenges college kids to a drinking competition.
Yeah.
Yes.
After an hour, Ruger has done psychic damage with dad jokes to half the party. Zerabak takes 3/4 of their booze. Rilla has completely embarrassed her baby sister, and Hector has made sure that every one of these college kids will literally never drink this much again for the rest of their lives. You stroll in, giggling, and you walk out leaving just a fucking mass of passed out college kids in your
And we
wake.
took the last fourth of the beer after Zerback.
Yeah, definitely.
3/4, right?
Yes.
Absolutely, you
Cool.
did. Yeah,
Can I add one
No,
more
we had-
thing?
yeah.
So when we like leave the party and we're, it's like, I don't know, 4 o'clock in the morning, we're stumble drunk with the last quarter of their beer, heading back to the
Absolutely.
quad. I start talking a little bit of shit about how drunk they are. And then I start proudly protesting that I am the greatest drunken Jenga player that Miosha has ever seen. And I try to see if I can bait them into one last Jenga game before we pass out.
Do you all play some Jenga?
There is no drinking game which I cannot conquer.
Yeah.
Yeah, all right.
Nice. I probably about halfway through the game pass out at the table.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. You're all at like park benches watching Zerabak guzzle entire kegs of booze while you drunkenly knock over and set up the Jenga tower like 5 times in a row. And when the sun fully rises over the quad, bathing you all with light, you all wake up hungover in yesterday's clothes. With your protagonist badges going off because you're late to your meeting with the conspiracy.
One day I'll eat that sun too.
But who won the Jenga game, Sam? None of us, because we passed out.
I fell asleep for sure. But I was winning before I did.
Yeah, none of you knows who wins, but it'll be the subject of heated debates, I'm sure, for the rest of your friendship.
All right. Well, now that I'm hungover as shit, I bark at some poor, unsuspecting college kid to go get me way too much water. I do that Ron Swanson thing where I'm like, what you heard was, I want all the water. What I meant was, I want all the water.
Absolutely. You get... Yeah, you get some scared college kid to bring you all some water to refresh yourselves. Yeah, you all wash the sleep out of your eyes, and do you trudge on to your meeting?
Yeah.
I cast a bunch of prestidigitations to get myself super clean, so that there's not like grass and shit in my chainmail dress.
Yeah, you wave some hands over yourself, and you get all of the animal hair, grass, dirt, and beer out of your chainmail dress, and it is looking bright and shiny. Yeah, and you all amble over in your hungover state to the Diviner's Tower. You enter.
I don't have shoes on, though, by the by. They're gone.
Oh, for sure, yeah. No one will ever find those fucking shoes. Bards will write tales about
Do
them.
sunglasses
Well, a certain kind of
exist in
bard.
this world?
They do now.
I buy one from a vendor along the way.
Yeah, for sure. They're dope, like 1800 sunglasses with like extra panes on the side and
Awesome.
shit. It's awesome.
I slap them on. I roll up a cigarette after splashing some water on my face and through my hair, put on a hat, and call it a day.
Yeah. You are greeted by the guards out front of the tower, who snap a salute to the Knight Captain Commander Firehide. You go through the entryway, the lush office, and up the spiral staircase to the mirror chamber, where the conspiracy is gathered. Captain Kurz, the half-orc paladin, Pockets Perot, the leader of the Turnkeys, Lore Master Holland, the Lore Master of Magic, Colt, the head of the Runners, and the Diviner are all in attendance. The Diviner looks at you all and says, My, it seems like you all have had quite the night. A bit late to your own meeting.
To be fair, I said the morning, and didn't specify a time.
Yeah.
The diviner chuckles at that. I suppose that's accurate.
Rilla
Forgive
looks
me.
in relief at the sky because she can tell what time it is again.
Yeah.
Well, you all had your dinner with the Iron Shogun. Where do we stand as far as the Platinum Gyro?
We have a firm, solid plan in place, and everything will be just fine.
Excellent. What is your plan?
We're gonna go to Fell.
Pardon me?
I take a drag from my cigarette.
I just lean back. I want to watch Hector talk about how this plan is great.
Yeah, no,
because it's not.
I'm 100% not helping
So
him
I'm
out
not.
here.
No.
You plan on going to the heart of the Lord Deceiver's forces? The center of her power? Why would you do this? The pot you need resides within the heart of the Iron Shogun. Was he not willing to part with it?
That's the best part of the plan. He's coming with us.
Pardon me?
The part that's so good about that is that the one and only heart that we could use to save the world might never return here. Isn't that fun? Isn't that great? Just like perfect. Perfect plan.
Pretty solid.
Colt pipes up, scratching the ground with one of his hooves, and says, "Well, that's gonna be damn tricky. The Badlands aren't easy to navigate on a good day, and these have not been good days. They're, no longer spreading into the Springvale Forest, but there's undead, wild magic, and none of my runners have been able to get anywhere close to Fell for quite a long time. Anyone that gets too close doesn't come back.
Uh-huh.
You sure you want to send the king of the dwarves into that? Are you sure you want to go yourselves?
Nope.
Here's what I'll say on that. If you would like to assassinate the monarch of the dwarves, feel free. That's not me. That's not what I'm going to do. There's another way. He wants to help.
Insistent, in fact.
Strictly speaking, he wants to commit suicide, but doesn't want to actually kill himself. You know what I mean? Like he's kind of open to any way out, as it were.
Honor.
Says Rilla,
Blaze of glory.
hungover from the corner.
Pockets speaks up that says, "Well, that's quite a turn of events. I'll say that. I had assumed you'd be able to talk him into just giving it up, but I suppose that was wishful thinking. I admit I'm glad you're not going to slay my king in cold blood, but it's quite a dangerous road you plan to travel. How are you going to get there?"
We're gonna go under it.
That's the one.
Yep.
Pockets taps her chin with one of her fingers and says, "Oh, of course. Aye, the Forgotten Holds. The Deep Wardens could get you pretty far out there rather quickly.
Yep. That's the long and short of it.
Lore Master Holland speaks up and says, "Oh, that is something that we never considered. There has been very little testing of the magical integrity of the ancient dwarven tunnels. Their craftsmanship is exemplary, and many of their old holds were structurally reinforced with their old magics. There may be some protection from the Badlands in the underground though horrible beasts have been known to lair there.
Well, another point of positive is that the Lord Deceiver will certainly not see us coming, given who could predict anyone attempting such a stupid plan?
The diviner pipes up and says, I suppose that is a strength of this plan. Well, if you're dead set on this, then of course it shall be done. All the way to Fell. What lies in Fell? Another one of these platinum gyros?
Possibly a lot of them.
Any known, the last known place where golems were built was Fell. If there is anywhere in this world that contains a platinum gyro, it will be Fell. And if it doesn't contain a platinum gyro, well, the Iron Shogun will be with us and is willing to give his life. But we have to try. I have to try.
There we go. There's the actual reason. Thank you. It's we talk just.
Well, Rilla, I didn't see you lining up to kill the Dwarven King either.
I would have.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know that I would have done well, but I certainly would have tried. Except I think Hector would have been very upset, and I might have had to kill Hector after, you know? So this seems cleaner, certainly.
Well, that's one way to look at it, for sure.
But I would kill Hector. I'm just saying that Hector would probably attack me if I tried, you know?
I wouldn't attack you, Rilla.
No? That's good to know, I suppose. It's just, this is a lot of ifs to maybe get what we want, and that makes me nervous. And the part that makes me the most nervous is if we fail and die, we're also taking, like I said, the only known part required to save the world with us now. So that's not great. You know?
Which is why it's good that you have learned the art of teleportation.
I mean, yeah, but I don't have that many of them, you know? It's very difficult magic.
I'm talking if it gets to that dire point.
I send him back because he's big enough that he's kind of his own teleport.
He'll die with us. You take the gyro and go yourself.
Ugh.
Ugh.
All right. I mean, for the world, I can't really argue it.
Yep, that's right.
Yeah. Yep. Ugh.
All of a sudden, out of nowhere, a unfortunately familiar voice springs up, and Anthony Geist is standing behind you all. Well, what a grim conversation. It is fascinating that so late in the game, Hector's morality still shines through. But this is a good plan. One that the enemy will not see coming, and one that might allow us to strike at the heart of their forces without them knowing it. Captain Kurz pipes up at that and says, well, it seems your path is set before you. You may need to make preparations in case the worst comes to pass, and Rilla needs to return with the Platinum Gyro alone.
That's a good thought, Curse. And should be mentioned, we are going to go. We're going to take soldiers. And we're going to do what we can. Solve this last little issue and maybe deal a deadly blow. But let's not fool ourselves here either. Our enemies are powerful. And an attack is still very likely to come. So y'all are going to need to be ready.
Of course, Firehide. Always ready.
I fucking salute him. God damn it. I just like reflexively, and then I curse under my goddamn.
The diviner says, well, when are you all going to depart?
We are meeting back with the Iron Shogun. Is that tomorrow at dusk?
Right. Well, I will do all the reconnaissance I can on the city of Fel. The Lord Deceiver is quite a powerful spellcaster in their own right, and their ability to obfuscate my divinations has been a very frustrating challenge. I suppose I can redouble my efforts and see what information I can glean for you. Pocket says, and I can probably talk to the turnkeys and see if we can't have you all riding in style. I've been working on a bit of a side project for something just like this. I think you'll enjoy what I've come up with. Especially you, your dark lordness. And they look at Anthony with a shit-eating grin on their face. Anthony just shrugs. The diviner says, well, if there's nothing else, we shall leave you to prepare.
I tip my hat.
I bow my head.
I
Puke in the
don't
corner.
care. I don't care. I'm hungover. I just lurch side, like I almost fall as I stumble out of the room.
I'd try to help
For
her.
sure.
I don't even notice.
I'm not very good at it, so.
So, you all leave the tower of the diviner and begin to make your preparations for the journey in front of you. And that is where we will end.
Hello, and welcome to Happily Ever After, the podcast after the podcast, where we take a deep dive into the romantic depths of our lucky bachelors and bachelorette. Now, you may notice that it's yours truly, Ruger Firehide, and alas, ladies and gents, I am not an eligible candidate on this show. But there are three familiar figures who I'd like to reintroduce you to. So firstly, Hector the Gatekeeper, aka Bachelor Number 1. Hector, how are you, sir?
I'm doing good. First time, long time. So
Yeah, it's great to have you on the show, buddy. I'm really excited about this new installment. It's a shame what happened to the other guy. It's also a shame that we don't know what happened to the other guy. But
it's not the first time.
yeah, I'm sure he's living it up somewhere, pantsless. But in the interim, I'm gonna try and do this thing. So, Hector, you have the privilege of being the first to field tonight's dating question, and that is an old reliable. So, Hector, how would you describe your perfect date?
Now, I'll be honest, I don't have much time to think of romance in the harsh environment of the gates, but I have mused on it. I think the perfect date starts with some sort of horrifying monster kidnapping an innocent. And then I go slay the beast and save the day. And then I take said innocent out for coffee afterwards.
Wow, that is a rather thrilling date, I'm sure. One full of valor and heroism, so that's exciting. But now I gotta ask, Hector, what kind of coffee? Cream, sugar, frappuccino?
Is there like an Irish coffee? What's
Yeah,
Ireland?
yeah, no, that we'll just. It's fine. Your nose is bleeding a little bit.
I flavor my coffee with whiskey.
Yeah, there you go. Gatekeeper special. That's okay. Fantastic, Hector. Well, thank you very much, Bachelor number 1. I appreciate you taking the time this evening. We look forward to future installments. Next, that brings us to Rilla Longshadow, Bachelorette number 2. Rilla, how are you doing this evening?
I just want to say, Ruger, that I am not a fan of your current tone. What is up with this voice, old man?
Look, I'm trying a new thing, right? Where it's this like DJ thing, maybe that future in radio. I hear kids are all into that these days. So I'm working. Rilla, don't distract me, okay? Because tonight we're on a dating show. Happily Ever After. You might have heard of it. And
I have not heard of it.
Well, you will, because it's the latest and greatest dating show to hit the internet airwaves. So
you have like 20 fans, right?
That's the fastest growing. Anyways, Rilla, tonight I must ask you, how would you describe your perfect date?
I've never been on a date, Ruger. So like, I don't. I mean, if I were to want to go out and spend time with someone, not that I do, I guess that I would start. I'd probably start with the flight at sunset, and like if they couldn't, fly because they were a stupid human or whatever, I might be willing to let them hitch a ride with me.
Like it's a dragon?
Like maybe. Yeah, like maybe as a dragon. Like possibly.
Okay.
Like I'm not saying that this is planned out in my head or whatever, but like if I were, like that's probably what I would start with because, flight's pretty great.
Sounds lovely.
Cool. And then like eating with other people is terrible because people suck. So like probably maybe like a picnic or something where we could like not have to be surrounded by others and their stares and their attention. Like maybe by the shore of Lake Datum, like just throwing that out there. Like it's definitely not something I've thought about ever.
Right. Of course.
Yeah. Right. And then, like I'm a really good dancer, but also don't like people. So like there's a pretty cool club I found where it's very dark and has good music and no one looks at you. And I go there sometimes. So like maybe I take them there. And then, because I can't sleep, remember how we've talked about that and I'm up all the time? I probably want to while away the ridiculously long night with like board games and warm drinks and stuff and see where that leads. How's that?
Well, Rilla, I for one am just wowed. I mean, you appear to be a romantic at heart.
No, I'm not.
No, absolutely not. And honestly, Rilla, you were woefully unprepared. Maybe you should think more about this because it was embarrassing how little you've thought about this first date.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, just a rough draft, just off the cuff. Yeah.
Yeah, but for sure, your first draft. I mean, a lot of potential. So, thank you for taking the time to share with Old Man Ruger. I know I really had to work to get you here, and I look forward to seeing you next week, Rilla.
I might be here, maybe.
I'd tell you to read your contract, but from my understanding, that's not possible. Anyways, bringing us to... I am so very excited for this one. Zurbak. Title. Bachelor number 3. Hey, buddy. How's it going?
Hello, new host. You've gotten taller and more pants since last I've seen you.
Yeah, well, see, Zurbak, I was a little worried about you, so I'm trying to stand tall. I've been told that if you look intimidating to swamp monsters, sometimes you might deter them, so I figured,
Doubtful.
I know,
mostly a challenge.
Yeah, okay, I hadn't considered that angle. Okay, great. Anyways,
Also, beware this job will destroy your pants.
well, okay, that's fine. Luckily, Ruger's confident in his later years, so it's fine. We'll figure that out when the time comes. But Zerbeck, there's no time to skirt the question, buddy. You are, as described, bachelor number 3. And so for tonight, I must ask, how would you describe your perfect date?
Dark brown skin, soft flesh. They're a little too sweet for me, but I guess dates are fine.
Zerbeck, are you referring to the fruit, a date? Is that what you're?
Yeah, well, that's what you asked about.
All right, so I see you're going to take it a little more literally. Okay, Zerbeck, how would you describe the perfect romantic meeting with a potential suitor or dare I say lover?
What? Why are we going from fruits to this?
Mainly because you got confused about the fruits. This is actually
I'm not confused. Well, I'm confused now. Your flow of conversation is inept.
Zerbeck.
I still don't miss the old host.
Yeah, I kind of wonder what happened to him. But Zerbeck, you are in fact. Okay, all right. All right, Zerbeck, I'm going to take one more pass at this, buddy, and we're going to do this. All right, this is your good friend, good acquaintance, Ruger Firehide's first stab at a show, and buddy, I really need you here. So, Zerbeck, titles. How would you describe an ideal romantic gathering with a potential suitor? Please.
Well, first, I suppose there'd have to be the hunt.
Like y'all are gonna hunt a swamp creature together?
Or we hunt each other. It doesn't matter, as long as there is a hunt.
Okay, that's okay. Is that, what else? Is that, just a hunt?
Oh, then there'd be the after hunt, usually eating, and then probably more hunting in the long moonlight hours.
Now that's idyllic.
And then we'd revel in the kills made and call it a night.
Well, Zerbeck, I gotta be honest, buddy, that's so thanks for sharing, and I'm very excited to see how this unfolds next time on Happily Ever After. Keep those dice turning.
Hey there, dear listener. Sam the DM here, checking in with the credits at the end of the show. Challenge Rating 0 was edited by the incomparable Audius Prime, aka Matt Sims. You can find more of his work at audiusprime.com. Music for Challenge Rating 0, including our amazing theme song, is provided by the harp wolf Danielle Williams. You can find more of her work at danielletaylorharp.bandcamp.com, including her album Why Are We Surprised When Seasons Change. Additional music for Challenge Rating 0 is provided by Justin Ra. You can find more of his work at justinra.com, including his album Age of the Spirit. If you want to find us on social media, we are on Facebook and Instagram at Challenge Rating 0. We're at Twitter at Challenge_0. And if you'd like to email us here at the show and send in any questions for As the Dice Turn segment, you can send any emails to challengeratingzero@gmail.com. Any questions we receive will be read on air. If you'd like to support the show, we are on Patreon, patreon.com/CR_ZERO. We've got some bonus content on there for you folks if you are interested. And if you can't support us fungibly, we ask only that maybe you take some time to give us a review, recommend us to a friend, all that good stuff. Thank you so much for listening. We're still trying to make the best show we can for you folks, and we're going to keep on keeping on. I hope you all take care of yourselves and each other out there. We'll see you next time.